Hi, this is Justin for CGT345, and this week I built two compositions. The first one is Ionia, which is based off a book by Alexander Craig written in 1898. It describes a Greek and Himalayan inspired utopia built by Greek mercenaries. So I mainly tried to make this inspired by Greek architecture, considering most of the population is Greek. I also put a few other buildings in there based off what the book describes. For example, there are these large domes and towers, which are more modern buildings, and I put those towards the edge because they were built later. There are also some Himalayan inspired towers which have different types of roofs compared to the Greek one. On the main mountain there, you can also see round cylindrical structures which are intended to be based off Greco-Roman architecture. They are also intended to look more futuristic and provide some sort of detail to the mountain. There are also windmills in the scene, which is how Ionia gets its power in novels. The entire scene is built to work in a fixed perspective, so the main house is much bigger than all the other houses in the scene, and the landscape is shaped in such a way that from inside the house it looks like the rest of the scene is just larger than it actually is. The landscape itself is also built to work specifically from that perspective. The second composition I built this week was based off the novel 1984 by George Orwell. So I wanted this to be much more realistic than Ionia was. 1984 is set in Britain, and I wanted to create this idea of a surveillance state by making the player themselves look really small in the scene. To each side of the street, you can only see these large oppressive buildings, and you can barely see the sky due to all the air pollution. The scene itself is also very grey in color, as almost everything is built out of concrete. I wanted the environment to feel very oppressive, so I used spotlights instead of point lights, and there are also lots of propaganda posters dotted all over the environment. One of the main interesting things that I did with this was to build the lower levels of the environment in a very classically British way. So it's got a cobblestone road, and storefronts are built in a way that would be common in London today. However, anything above the storefronts is made out of concrete, built on top of the old structures. So there is some semblance of the old way of life on the ground level, but anything else is just oppressive, samey concrete.